Hey guys, this is John from US Dash Camera. Today got another review on a product from Rhundo, which is a company I had never heard of before, but OCD Tronic from Amazon, who has sent me dash cameras in the past, asked if I wanted to review this, and it was something that I have wished has existed before, and I've never found something like this, so I was very excited to try it out. So he did send this out for review, and basically what this is a cigarette port and USB port adapter, but it's more than just that. It's got some smart features. Now I also got another review of just a single 12-volt port by Rhundo. This one also has some smart features. I'll provide a link to the review of this one down below. This one is good for, say you have a car or vehicle that has an always-on port, such as Silverados. I've found that to be the case, and you want to use a dash camera just off the 12-volt port. Well, if it's always on, it's going to constantly drain your battery, and you don't want that. So this device will sense when your car is off based on some voltage drop and will shut off. So this one is like that, but has even more features. So I was pretty excited to see all the features this product has. Sometimes I actually use a 3-port 12-volt adapter in my truck when I go on trips, and I might have some radio communication devices or battery chargers for my action cameras. You know, I have a lot of things that I want to connect, and just the one port in the front of the vehicle isn't enough. But this I especially like because it has the smart features. So let's see what the box says here. So it says a master power switch. You can display the battery voltage, the USB amperage for your phone charging. You got a timer function, so you can set it to not turn on until a certain amount of time when your car turns on. And the reason you would do that is sometimes some vehicles have a spike in voltage, and it might spike up and down, and that could be bad for some devices like dash cameras, where you don't want it to get power, then lose power, then get power again. So the start delay will allow you to say, when the car starts, don't send power to the dash camera for 30 seconds. And then once it has consistent power, then it will send power to the dash camera. So that helps protect any devices that may be connected to it. But of course it also has a off timer. So if you're in a vehicle like a Silverado or many other vehicles where the 12-volt port is always on, even when the vehicle is off, it can detect that the voltage drops, and then say 1 minute after it'll shut off, so that way you don't drain your battery. And here we do have a temperature option, so I do have that. Basically you can just connect this and display the temperature. So also there is this control panel, and the control panel is going to be the display. So this might hide somewhere underneath your dash or something, but the control panel will allow you to turn the ports on or off, and the USB. And this is also how you're going to change your settings. And it says touch sensor power switch. I'm excited to try it out, so let's unbox it. So unlike this guy, this does have a user's guide, and probably because it's much more complicated. So I'm going to read through this, and then I'll try to explain it to you guys. Here we can see the main device, which comes with some 3M adhesives. So this looks like standard 3M VHB tape. So this would be for right here on that guy, and of course this one for here. Now I might use Velcro because I will want to be able to move this between vehicles to try out, but it's nice that they include this. So let's take a look at the device. I took the plastic off. It's very reflective, as you can see me there. Got some information on there. Car socket splitter with touch sensor switches. There's some specifications. Designed by Stylish Wiz in Korea, made in China. So the USB ports can go up to 3.4 amps. Single one 2.4 amps. So it can potentially charge a phone at a decent rate. And you can see here the thermometer would plug into there. Overall, it feels very sturdy. Feels like high quality. We've got the plug that, or the 12 volt plug that will go into your cigarette port, and a 12 amp fuse right there. So also included with this is some cable clips to help wire the controller where you want, and a replacement. It's worth noting that Rhundo does not recommend running any sort of inflators or air compressors or thermal bottles. They claim that it can draw several times their normal full load current, so you should not use those while connected to the Rhundo device. So you can see here that had a delay because I had set it to have a 10-second delay before it turned on, 5 or 10 seconds. So this controller has got a couple different features. We got the main power button there, then port 1, 2, and 3, and then also we got USB ports on the side, and one of those will be for the thermometer. So these are all touch buttons, and you can see when I turn that on it'll have that delay again because that's the start delay. What's pretty cool is it's very smooth. You can turn these on very easily, on or off. Now, to get to the functions, you can just turn this off with this, but let's see here. It's on the default settings right now, so I'm going to shut the vehicle off. And you'll see that will likely drop below 13 volts. And once the default is 13 volts, so now the timer's starting, and that should shut off within a minute. So now to get to the function button, you got to turn this off by holding it. Then you turn it back on, holding it, and you'll get multiple function buttons. Right now there's function 1, 2, and 4. Now 3 is related to function 2, the delay timer or timer off function, so you got to turn that on before that is an option. Start with function 4 though, that's the thermometer. So you select it with the holding the power button again. You can see I have it set to Fahrenheit, so currently have that off. Or currently had it on Fahrenheit, but it's default on off. So to select, hold that button and you'll see it said set. So now you can go through and do this again if you want to change into the other settings. So now let's do function 1, which is the startup delay. So you can see it's on off. The reason you'd want this is sometimes when you start your vehicle, the power will spike on and off, then back on. So this prevents any sort of issues with if you have this loaded up with several devices, you don't really want the power spike off and on, so you can set this to 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see how high it goes. Up to, yep, 30 seconds. So let's just set it for 5 seconds. Select. There you can see it's set again. Okay, now it's a little annoying having to do this, but once you get this set, you shouldn't have to set it again. So now let's set the timer off delay. So again, this is because you don't want say you have a dash camera or whatever, maybe you just have a radar detector that you don't want to unplug every time. So this allows you to set a timer. And this is in minutes, not seconds. So there you can see it jumped up to 10, then 15, then 20, 30, 45, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 120 minutes. But I don't want it to go that long. I just want it to shut off as soon as possible, so I'm going to select 1 minute. Okay. And so you can see it's at 12.6 volts. But let's change that, or let's change the default setting. So now that function 2 is on, you can see function 3 is available, so let's select that. And this is going to be the voltage the timer will start. So if I want to start the timer even sooner, I could say 3.5 volts, or 13.5 volts, and it'll go as high as 14, but ideally, depending on your car battery, around 13 is probably where you want it at. I'm going to just set it at the default. So now we have all of our settings. Now, you'll see this after a minute now should shut off. But while we're waiting, let's scroll through here. Got voltage, we got amperage. If this was charging a phone, it would tell you how many amps are being pulled. And that's through the USB, not the ports actually. So let's see if we can do that real quick before it shuts off. I'm going to plug in my phone. And there you can see now it's drawing amps. And then we got how long the timer's been going. And I believe that would be the temperature if I had the thermometer plugged in. So there you can see now, about 30 seconds before it shuts off, that's warning you that it's automatically turning off because the timer had been running for, coming up on 1 minute. And that one is also doing that. So very cool device. And there you can see it shut off. So this really helps people with vehicles like the Silverado, where you want to use the 12-volt ports, but they're always on, and you don't want to drain your battery. So after using the Rhundo RS-20ST for a little bit now, I gotta say I really love it. It's just what I was looking for. Now, it is a little pricey. It's like just over $40, I believe, on Amazon. But for what it does, it is a really awesome splitter. I've never seen a splitter that had this many features built in. Now, the only thing I could possibly complain about is I wish there was more space in between these. Because here you can see if I use this Anchor Rove device, it's very tight, so only something that's really skinny can fit in there. So you gotta be careful with what you're plugging in here if some of them are big like this. Now, at first I thought this was going to be sort of confusing to use. I did watch a video on Amazon. I believe it's one of the creators of this device put a little instructional video, so I had to watch that a couple times to make sure I understood it. So it's definitely something you need to look into. Make sure you fully know how it works, because it's not straightforward. unless you read the instructions or watch the video, because obviously it's just a power button and a 1, 2, and 3. So, follow the instructions or watch a video. So again, overall I really like this device. It's great for anyone that has a vehicle like a Silverado where the 12-volt sockets are always on. So this will allow you to use your devices like a dash camera and not worry about it draining your battery while your vehicle is off. So again, if you're interested in this device, I'll post a link down in the description where you can purchase this. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you hit like and subscribe. And as usual, drive safe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.